Hi guys, it's Michael Hurley here. Thank you very much for your questions, and I'm excited to be here on the Amart Furniture Couch in the NEC hangar. Let's get started. All right, question 1 from Andrew. How are you feeling? And wishing you a speedy recovery to full health. Thanks, Andrew. I'm feeling a lot better than what I was. If you'd asked me this probably 4 or 5 months ago, I would have been feeling terrible, but health is really good, feeling better. Hip's still a little bit average, so hopefully that can get a bit better over the coming months. Question 2 from Ainsley. What are you most excited for when you return to footy? Good question. I guess what you really miss when you're not playing, I guess, is just that feeling before the game. Being in the rooms, everyone's sort of on the same page. There's a great energy in the room, and then I guess when you walk up the race and you hear all the fans go crazy, it's a pretty special feeling and one you can't really replicate anywhere else. All right, question 3 from Matthew Guelphy. Do you like my haircut, and do you like Don? Don't like your haircut, Guelph, but I do like Don. For those at home that don't know who Don is, that's a little hammy, runs around on the wing. He's a great young kid. Question 4 from Daniel. What has been the favourite moment of your career? Good question. Obviously I haven't had as much success as I would have hoped over the last 13 or so years, but one memory that really sticks out is probably my debut. I was over in Adelaide. We played Port Adelaide in round 1 and had mum and dad over there with my sister, and we weren't able to get the win, but I just remember vividly walking out of the race and being on Amy Park, I think it was called, over there, and just looking around and actually finally fulfilling my dream. So that was a pretty special moment. Question 5, Isabella. What advice would you give your younger self or another person wanting to play footy? Very good question. I think looking back now to when I was younger, I think the thing I missed the most about being young, I guess, was just how much I enjoyed my footy. And I think any advice I'd give now is just try and enjoy it as much as you can. I guess for us it's a little bit more pressure and it can be quite consuming at times, but I think for those that are enjoying their footy and having a good time, they're the ones that tend to get the best results. Question 6 from Jocelyn. Is the couch comfy? The couch is bloody comfy. Have a look at this blue pillow in front of the plain pillow, which is very important. But no, on a serious note, the Amart do some fantastic furniture, so get yourself down there and get yourself a nice couch. Question 7. Hardest thing about not playing this season? Another good question. I think when you're in the rehab group and you're not quite training with the guys or playing on the weekends, it can be a bit of a lonely place. So I guess some of the things that you miss the most are obviously game day and not being able to play, but just some of that interaction from day to day with the boys. You find yourself somewhat isolated in the rehab group, and you do a lot of your work away from everyone, or at different times, or down in the pool, and I guess it can be quite isolating, and at times you just sort of want to be part of it and out there training with the boys, out there on the weekend having a kick, but that's probably what I've missed the most. What have we got here? Paddy, do you prefer Heppel with or without dreadlocks? Easy one, Paddy, without the dreadlocks. I think he cut them off at the perfect time. Hepp is obviously getting a bit older now, so I think it was time for the dreadlocks to come off, and I think he looks a hell of a lot better without them. Oh, another old mate. Who we got here? Corey Del Olio. Can you please reply to my text, Michael? Now, funny that, I'll tell you a story about Corey. The only time he texts is when he wants footy boots or we're playing in Perth. So Corey, maybe text me, ask me how I'm going every now and again, and I might reply. And finally, last but not least, we've got a question from Matthew. Who is the most difficult opponent you've played on in your career? Forward or back? Okay, I'll start when I was a forward. Looking back now, who were some of the players I played on? I played on Matty Scarlett for half a game when Geelong were at the peak of their powers, and I'm not sure I touched the ball. He was an amazing player, super strong, super fast, pretty fit guy, and I just remember thinking when I was pretty young, thinking that if I'm going to make an AFL career, that I'm going to have to improve a hell of a lot, because he really got a hold of me. And then playing as a back, I've had this question quite a bit. There's probably 3 guys that I think of when I think of my toughest opponents. First probably being Lance Franklin. Just the way he can turn the game, he's pretty mercurial in the way that he just makes things happen out of nothing. Kicks goals from 70, super athletic, and just a mountain of a man. So I found him extremely difficult. Someone who's slightly different is probably Josh Kennedy. When he was really at his peak, he used to get up and down the ground, super runner, super fit, super strong, and he really used to punish you. He'd have 5 shots on goal, he'd kick 4 goals, 1. So he was a really difficult one. And then of more recent times, probably Tom Hawkins. I've always been probably slightly undersized as a defender, and when you walk out and you line up next to him, you go, geez, he gets bigger every time you play him. So he's probably the third guy that sort of comes to mind when I talk about my toughest opponents. All right, well, thank you guys for sending all these questions. Really enjoyed sitting here on the Amart Furniture Couch and answering them for you guys. And thank you very much for the ongoing support, really appreciate it. So thank you.